Alright then, surprisingly, I haven't had a Trundle video in quite a while aside the when to pick Trundle one, which one that came out a little while ago. Anyways, this game turned out a little bit more surprising than I thought. Especially too, my opponents, they picked Shyvana and Caitlyn first. My teammate picked Jax first. Then my teammate picked Graves, and I picked Trundle because, you know, Trundle counter Shyvana. I thought it would have been a top lane Shyvana, but whatever. Then they picked Syndra, Leona, and eventually finished up with Kennen. There's 3 champions on the enemy team that are essentially food for my ultimate. That means I probably will not have to invest so much in resistances or one type of resistance. Or I can invest in them and become an incredible machine and just let my Q steroid carry me. At first, I thought, you know what, I'd be able to build Blade of the Ruined King and then just go on a massacre. But turns out, the game goes a little bit more different than I had hoped. I almost died here, but thankfully I was chugging a potion and I burned my ghost in order to escape. There's a reason, actually I'll explain that in a sec. Right, my runes and masteries are attack damage red, armor yellow, 4 magic resistance blues, and I believe 5 cooldown reduction blues. Either that or 6. It's in order to get 5% cooldown reduction. My masteries are 9, 21, 0. 5% cooldown reduction on the offensive tree as well for the masteries. So that starts me off with 10% cooldown reduction. That means with 3 items, something like a locket, either Glacier Shroud, or Spirit Visage, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, that 3 Kindle Gem items will pretty much give me 3 Kindle Gem items, or 2 Kindle Gem and 1 Glacier Shroud item will give me enough cooldown reduction, 40%. And that's sort of look how my goal's sort of leaning. The game is ridiculously dull early, and there's nothing much that can happen. I get this a lot though, by the way. They ask, why do I take Ghost over Flash on some champions? Hell, somebody got very vocal and angry about me taking Ghost on Shen instead of Flash. The thing is, Ghost has a much shorter cooldown. That's one thing. Ghost also allows you to use your, let's say, body to force an escape before you have to use your crowd control. Like, if I had Flash and if I just flashed at somebody, it would force them to flash sometimes. That, or I wouldn't be able to finish the last little gap. I don't move fast enough. Actually, let me reiterate that. The amount of distance covered by a full Ghost is way longer than the amount of distance a Flash covers, even though it's a little bit over time. So with a Ghost, I'd be able to catch up to someone like Syndra if I attacked her from a flank with my, and bite at her. And if she flashes, I'd still probably be able to catch her. So then I could use my wall at a very opportune time. Plus, the Ghost is very important for a champion like Trundle who needs a lot of mobility. And you saw there, we killed Leona, and I leave the dragon just to put up a wall to help the Ahri almost kill the Syndra, and with Thresh and Graves managed to catch Caitlyn and kill her. Unfortunately, Ahri dies, and Syndra survives with a sliver of health. We take dragon, Shyvana comes in, and then we kill this dragon. And the enemy team shows up, well, not the same team. Kennen shows up with, you know, electrifying powers and kills my other teammates. I would say it's technically worth it because we got a dragon and equal amount of kills this early. Man, it wasn't like, oh, shit on one. Well, Kennen picked up 2, yeah, but then Shyvana picked up another one. It's not as bad. The Jax is getting to farm non-stop now top, and he also got himself a tower. So yes, definitely overall more beneficial to us. However, our gold isn't as good as theirs. The Jax isn't farming as well as he'd hoped for, I bet. So, anyways, fight breaks out. I meet them in the tri-bush or throw up a wall just to slow them down. And then Leona, second she uses her W, I drain her of her stats, because now they're all mine. If some of you don't know, as Trundle, if you use your ultimate on someone with a massive defensive steroid, you will drain them you will drain them from that steroid. So if a character normally has 10 resistances and then their ability gives them 200, then you ult them. Well, they have that 200 boosted stats. You will drain them from 200, and after it runs out, but the drain is still there, you will be draining them for the same amount as you were draining them prior to that resistance buff having ended. I mean, I haven't even started. So you can actually put champions into the negative, like a Rammus. Negative armor if you do your ultimate correctly, and he has enough armor that the percentage is huge. So yes, fight breaks out. We kill ourselves in Leona. Thresh gets a little too far deep in there and dies. So one thing I've started noticing in my opponents, well, I noticed right away though, they're pretty much all fucking magic. The Shyvana is like a jungler, and she's kind of like pseudo magic. It's like half magic, half whatever. I know Cannon does some AD damage, but he's primarily magic too. So I'm deciding to build mostly just magic resistance with cooldown reduction as well. Locket of the Iron Solari is literally the core item I am going for. And even though people seem to underrate the items, like all of a sudden because they changed it to be pretty much pure magic resistance, nobody wants to use it. Here, thanks to my ultimate right here and draining the Leona, I just tanked the fucking ultimate from Kennen and helped get him and Leona killed. Jax goes on a rampage, Dragon is born, and now we definitely have the gold lead. So, Locket of the Iron Solari gives a lot of magic resistance to the wielder, and obviously shares some of that wealth with the teammates. Best of all, the active is very helpful to, you know, against a team like this. All their AoE will pretty much be, not all of it, I mean, but a portion of their AoE will be blocked by my ultimate and by the aura from the Locket as well. Will help the team. So anyways, as you can see, I'm going the cooldown reduction route with a wall max first. The wall has, I believe, like a 18-second cooldown at rank 1, and then it slowly gets itself down to 11 seconds at max rank. I think so. I could be wrong. I don't quite remember. So if you have 40% cooldown, your cooldown is around 7.6 seconds. You can spam the living shit out of that and just generally bug people with it. Fight breaks out here. Thresh dies. I drain Shyvana of her stats and I become massively beefy. I turn around as soon as they get into this corridor because watch how this wall gets placed, denying Caitlyn her little jump back. I didn't think it would deny the jump midway, but I knew I would be able to block her ass and maybe Kennen out, and then just be able to pin him down. That's why I popped Ghost, killed her, and the enemy team is just pretty much fucked here. We're being picked to go for Baron, and now obviously it's a great idea. We just killed a lot of their members. However, I did not think that Kennen still had his ultimate, so he's going to come right now barreling through with Flash and using his ultimate. I back away so I don't get killed and come back in once the Baron gets into smite range. So, kill him. We've cleaned them all up, and we have a much greater advantage again. Again, I use my Locket just in case I have to back off because I'm low health, that I still get an assist if one of those teammates who got it actually kill somebody. So, yes, maxing out my wall. I did point 2 points in my W, though. That's one thing at the start. Mostly because I remembered, you're supposed to be maxing E. Whatever. The wall is a fun fact. If you didn't know, the wall can actually stop some gap closers you don't suspect it could stop. If you were really good at it and you timed it just in time, like in the right moment, Hecarim barreling down with his ultimate, you can stop him. His ultimate animation will go through all the horsemen, but it won't do dick, and his ultimate will still go on cooldown. So anyways, Kennen goes in, his teammates are separated by the wall. As you can see, they basically crawl. They can't do anything. I use my ultimate on Kennen to make sure he dies while, he flees. The enemy comes in. I'm going to toss my wall right there next to Shyvana after we kill Leona and Caitlyn. And now she's slowed down enough that we kill her. This wall, like, I didn't think, the enemy team would be countered, and I wasn't expecting the enemy team to pick a team composition this way. But 3 other members feed my ultimate. I could ult any of their frontliners, and I would be huge. My ultimate is one of the most valuable abilities we have. My wall fucks over the enemy team so hard. If Kennen barrels in or Shyvana barrels in, I can throw that wall in the middle and separate their team. Look how huge I am. I just don't take any damage. The second Shyvana gets in, I turn around and drain her of her stats. She's the one with the most stats, of course. So now I'm massively huge. I'm maybe low, but there's no way I'm going to die here. So I pop my ghost and just start bashing Caitlin's brains in. Jax goes in, Syndra gets killed, and then Cannon gets to scamper off and survive. This build, this magic resistance heavy build, was focusing on cooldown reduction and the wall, turned out to be perhaps one of the smartest and best builds I could have gone against the enemy team. And I had not intended to go down that route until I sort of just paid attention to, oh, my team isn't doing so well early. I have to build to counter the enemy team and hopefully, help my team catch back up. It worked out like a charm. That wall on a 7-second cooldown is ridiculously strong. Hooray for Trundle.